For many years, I helped people prepare for their retirement. I taught them to grow their investments, to protect their savings, and to create financial security for their future. But there's one thing that's always bothered me. Most people don't have a retirement plan. They have retirement accounts, RRSPs, group pensions, investments, but they really don't have a plan for how they'll live for the next 30 years. And honestly, life has a way of changing even the best plans. Maybe you've experienced that yourself. A job loss, a divorce, or the loss of a spouse. Maybe you're caring for aging parents and supporting adult children, or facing difficult health challenges. Or maybe you were simply so busy taking care of everyone else that your own retirement plans got pushed to the bottom of the list. If that's you, I want you to know something. You're not behind because you failed. Sometimes life simply doesn't follow the spreadsheet. Today, I want to share the mindset shift that completely changed how I think about retirement, why I decided to build both online and offline income streams after I sold my business, and why I believe it's never too late to start building a retirement that gives you purpose, freedom, and flexibility. Hi, I'm Carol, and welcome to Heavenly Payday. I retired at 56 after selling my financial planning business, and I've been learning how to build online in a completely different way. Here on this channel, I share what I'm learning with women over 50 who want more freedom, flexibility, and purpose without going back to a traditional job. If that's something you're interested in, I'd love to have you subscribe. Because every week we talk about retirement, online income, and building a life that you don't need to take a vacation from. One thing I've learned over the years is that retirement planning isn't really about the numbers. It's about life. People would come into my office with dreams. Travel, time with the grandkids, volunteering, helping out at your church, learning new things. But then life would get in the way. Many women took time from their careers to raise families. Some became caregivers. Some experienced divorce or widowhood. Some simply didn't earn enough to be able to save consistently. And even when people did save faithfully, there was that question that kept coming back to me. Where is your income actually going to come from? That question became even more personal as I faced my own retirement. When someone approached me about buying my business, I had a big decision to make. The process wasn't quick. It took me over a year to find the right buyer and to complete the sale. By the time everything was finished, I felt relief. It was a long undertaking. Was there uncertainty? Yes, of course. I was retiring at 56. That's young. But honestly, I was excited. Not because I planned to stop learning, just the opposite. I saw retirement as an opportunity to learn an entirely new skill set, a new project, a new season. But there was one decision I needed to make. What was I going to do with the money from selling my business? Most people probably naturally assumed that I'd invest it all in the stock market. And honestly, that would have been the most natural assumption coming from a financial planner. But something was starting to change in my thinking, and it started on a morning walk. I remember walking through the neighborhood, listening to a podcast by Myron Golden. He explained a simple idea that completely changed how I thought about money. He talked about using your money not just to buy things or even as an investment, but to buy assets that produce income. I actually stopped walking because suddenly something clicked. I thought, wait a minute, I'm already doing that. For several years, I had been hosting international students in my home, and I absolutely love it. Watching young women from around the world grow in their confidence, sharing meals together, enjoying holidays like Christmas and Thanksgiving, celebrating their birthdays, and seeing them become like family. It's one of the greatest joys of my life, and it also produced income. So instead of asking, what else should I do? I asked, why wouldn't I just expand something that's already working? So I invested in finishing my basement, 2 rooms and a bathroom. Not because I wanted a bigger house to clean, but because I wanted to create another income producing asset. And then another thought came to me. If I could produce this other offline asset, why couldn't I build something online? Not because I wanted to chase the latest trend, and not because I was looking for some get rich quick scheme, but because I wanted to add another tree in my orchard. Here's the picture that formed in my mind. Imagine planting a tree. You don't plant it because you want fruit tomorrow. You want it because you want to enjoy the fruit every season that it produces. Then maybe you plant another tree and another. Before long, you have an orchard. That's how I began thinking about retirement. Not just saving money, but planting income producing trees. And here's the beautiful part. Some of the fruit can be enjoyed today, and some of it can be planted to grow even more trees. That became my new retirement strategy. So I started looking for a legitimate way to start earning money online. And if I'm honest, I was skeptical. There are a lot of promises online, and I wasn't looking for hype. I wasn't looking for easy money or overnight success. I was looking for something real, something that a beginner could learn, something with systems, and something that I could build over time. Eventually, someone I met in another community introduced me to a blueprint that they were following. I took my time and I looked at the training, the depth of the material, the community, the success stories. And what impressed me most wasn't flashy marketing. It was ordinary people who were doing the work. Since joining that community, I've been mentored by someone who's building an incredible business. But what impressed me more wasn't just her success, but her heart. She's approachable. She's generous. She teaches with patience. And every week I'm still learning. Because here's the truth, I'm still building. I don't have everything figured out. I'm simply a few steps ahead of someone else, and I'm willing to share what I'm learning along the way. Today, my retirement income comes from 4 sources. First, small pensions through work and government. Second, income through investments. Third, hosting international students, which has become an incredible source of purpose and income. And fourth, the online income I'm continuing to build. None of these streams has to carry the entire load. Together, they create flexibility and they create options. Together, they give me more peace. Looking back, I think the biggest shift wasn't financial, it was mental. I stopped asking, how much money will I need for retirement? I started asking, what assets can I build that will support the type of life I want to live? Those are two very different questions. One focuses on destination, and the other focuses on creating opportunities. Maybe you're watching today and thinking, I wish I had started 20 years ago. I understand that feeling. But the second best time to plant a tree is today. You don't need 10 income streams, and you don't need to have everything figured out. You simply need to plant the first tree. Learn one skill, take one step, build one asset. Then let time do what time does best. If this video has you thinking differently about retirement, I'd love to give you a place to start. I have a free blueprint resource for you. It's designed for women over 50 who are looking at starting something online that will give them purpose, freedom, and flexibility. I've left the link in the description below, and I hope it gives you as much encouragement as this journey has encouraged me. So here's what I hope you'll remember. Retirement isn't just about having enough money. It's about creating enough income, enough flexibility, and enough purpose to enjoy the life that you've worked hard to build. And today, I don't feel rich because I have more money. I feel rich because the skills I'm learning are allowing me to live out my purpose. In the next video, I'm going to show you a much simpler way to start building online retirement income after 50 by focusing on systems instead of hustle. If you're looking for more freedom, flexibility, and purpose, I think you're going to enjoy this next video. Just click here and I'll see you on the next one.